We are awaiting the release of a tape on a plane, Flight 97, hitting the Pentagon on 9/11. There was a lawsuit filed under the Freedom of Information Act. Brett Baer is standing by live, and he's got the latest on this. Brett?
Okay, Juliet, Mike, we understand we have obtained the tape, and we are in the process of queuing that up. This is the end of the one angle of the plane, and maybe we can recue that, control room. This is the best angle, the closest angle to the Pentagon. This is from the closer security camera in the parking lot. And I tell you what, let's see if we can rewind it a bit.
Okay, here,
this is the one.
This is the original we've seen for
we've seen this still many times, and you will see another angle from this very camera. But as we rewind that tape, you can see the nose cone of the plane. If you watch here closely on the right side of your screen, you will see the nose cone from this security camera. And we might have to slow it down even more. It is one still that I have seen very clearly on the nose cone from this camera angle. That's the closest we get to American Airlines Flight 77 actually seeing the plane. You can see the glare on the tape there. It comes in right about that spot, and we'll single that out and get it for you. The other angle on the other tape is the angle that we've seen before, which is that pulled back security camera, and it's roughly the same. You see a flash, you see a blur, and then you see the explosion at the Pentagon. What is tough to see here is that this is a security camera that takes about a frame every half second or so, and you can't really get a clear glimpse of the plane from either of these angles.
Judge Napolitano has rejoined us, and Judge, we're all watching this at the same time, and all of us, and including I think a lot of the audience members, are kind of thinking, well, it doesn't look that much different from the original that we saw many years ago. Why would they have been holding this back?
You know, sometimes people in government are a little too protective of the government, and they forget that we all have the right to know what the government's doing. Of course, we have hindsight, and we can now say, well, why didn't we have this 4.5 years ago? We should have, and that's what a judge did rule when the judge ordered that these be released.
Okay, now, Brett, that's what you're working on now, is try to get that one frame where you see the cone, the nose cone.
Yeah, if you take it back and you go frame by frame, now this is the other angle. Of course, we've seen these stills before. If you go frame by frame on the closer camera, you can see the nose cone. I've seen it on the frame. But again, overall, this is underwhelming for somebody who watches this, because we've seen this angle before, just haven't seen this many frames of it. So for the conspiracy theorists out there, there are probably going to be people saying this doesn't prove anything. But as we get the frame that shows the nose cone, we'll get it to you and put it on the air.
Right.
Until now, these jerky video sequences from a Pentagon security camera were the best and only available visual record of the final seconds of American Airlines Flight 77. But magnify the image, and in the pixels, instead of a plane, some see a conspiracy. Enter Mike Wilson, a computer animator in Escondido, California, who sees something else in the indistinct video, a way to debunk the doubters.
Here I'm starting my crime scene investigation. Exhibit A are the lamp poles. 5 lamp poles in all were knocked down.
Using software called SolidWorks, Wilson matches up the evidence, pictures of the snapped light poles, with the flight path of the Boeing 757. It adds up. It's what his company, Integrated Consultants, does. Makes realistic computer recreations based on available evidence.
A lot of people claim it was a missile. And of course a missile was too small to knock down all of these lamp poles. So right away you're starting to debunk some of the myths out there. The security booth is important because this is where a lot of the controversy started.
Just like some of the skeptics, Wilson was puzzled. The fuzzy image looks too small to be a jetliner. Then it came to him. The security camera had a wide-angle fisheye lens.
A fisheye lens distorts things, sort of like a car mirror. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. So you end up, through the fisheye lens, the jet looks very tiny.
Once again, calibrate the assumption, and the facts seem to fit. What about the mocking questions on the internet about why the lawn near the Pentagon didn't appear scorched or scarred?
They say if a large jet hit, it should have hit the lawn should be damaged, the spools should be gone. But if you look at the film, you can see that the jet in fact flew over the lawn and just barely missed the spools before hitting the wall. So there's a few more myths that were debunked right there.
And the biggest canard of all? No plane wreckage. Hardly.
Many people say there's no wreckage, and I show plenty of photos of wreckage.
Wilson labored some 300 hours on his pet project, but it's still a work in progress. He's heard the plane may have banked a little to the left, so he'd like to tweak that. And he's got more detailed technical reports on the damage inside, so he'd like to show that too. But even that won't be the final word.
A lot of people that, wow, I didn't see it that way before. Thank goodness for. But there's a few people out there that still get upset with me, and I don't think they'll ever believe anything else.
Wilson said what drove him to this labor of love was the fear that some American soldier might believe some of the internet conspiracies, because they can seem so convincing. He hopes that what he believes is the truth will prevail. Jamie McIntyre, CNN, The Pentagon.